Disclaimer. This video is made for entertainment purpose only, it doesn't mean to hurt anyone, and don't take it seriously.
Sounds good. Listen, wanted to start off first. I know we were going to talk about my favorite show that just came out, but though it's been kind of disappointing because they only released half of the freaking Cobra Kai's. I'm going to bring up something where I've been looking at Instagram videos that MC sends me, and one of them I found interesting. I wanted to share with you, MC, was there's a new fighting sport out there. Have you seen it?
I don't know what you're going to show me.
But have you seen any new sports out there lately?
If it's the one I sent you, it was like tennis baseball, wasn't it?
Tennis baseball.
Yeah.
No, that's
not it.
That is a new one I have not seen.
Yeah, because I sent that to you too.
All right, it's on my downloads. I'm trying to put it on my screen. But it is card ninjutsu. Have you heard of this?
Card ninja too?
Card jitsu.
Card jitsu?
Yep.
No, not heard of this.
Yeah. Well, I'm about ready to show it to you because it's got to be the stupidest thing ever. This is what happens when society runs off social media and we allow people to do stupid shit. And for some reason, it's real popular in Russia. Card jitsu. So I'm trying to pull it up on my screen.
Imagine.
What?
I said I can only imagine.
Wait till you see it. But I downloaded a picture, and for some reason, it's not showing up in my downloads. But it is pretty stupid what I just saw and what it is. Let me see if I can find
the people have came for Cobra Kai and now they're getting
no one comes from Cobra Kai because we're talking about card jitsu and it kind of ties in together. Card jitsu.
Why aren't you called me bait? You switch. You never talk about what's on your screen.
You know what? It's part of society. People need to see this. All right, I'm just going to show the video. The video of card jitsu. You're going to be, well, I had it on here. See, shit, dude. This is what happens when stuff goes wrong. I had it on here.
Karate Karma.
I had a video. All right, here's the one I'm going to show you. I got to get off. Yeah, it's got to be the stupidest shit. But anyways, it's come from Russia, and I saw it at first, and I thought this has got to be something that's just phony. Like this isn't real. There's no way in hell that someone is doing this, but they are. They're showing card jitsu, and this is it.
I think we did talk about it. I think I did see this before.
We've never talked about this, but I have been.
No, but I think I did see
up.
this.
Yep.
I think I did see this in a car before a long time ago.
So it just reminds you of like this is like someone got mugged and they fought out of it, and they said, you know what, this is a good sport to learn how to fight out of someone trying to beat the crap out of you in the car. Look how quickly they go for the seatbelts, right? Not sure if it's a rule we're going to read about card jitsu, but for some reason they go for the seatbelts.
So they're trying to strangle him with the seatbelt?
What's that?
They're trying to strangle the other guy with the seatbelt?
No, they do. Some of them do grab it.
Oh, that just looks very.
It's stupid.
It looks very promiscuous.
It's worse than slap fighting. right? It's worse than the slapping that's gotten viral. That has gotten a lot of attention, the stupid slap fighting. Has it not?
Is there? Yeah. We did an episode on the slap fighting, didn't we? Or just weird fighting sports before?
We talked about weird sports, the pillow fighting and
Yeah,
all that.
slap fighting.
And for some
Yeah,
reason,
they even put the slap fighting in that Rock movie, didn't they? Like that Santa Claus or Santa Claus's Kidnap movie. I don't remember the name of it now, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
no.
Where you haven't seen this, right? So apparently
No.
Dwayne Johnson gets in a slap fighting with Krampus. I guess Chris Evans is in there. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Apparently, Chris Evans is kind of a skeptic of all this stuff, but it's like a North Pole Secret Service thing or of some sort, or security detail or something. And Santa's kidnapped, and for some reason, he ends up in a slap fight with Krampus.
So here's
gigantic.
Here's to paint the picture of Car-Jitsu. Car-Jitsu started.
Car-Jitsu
started. What did it say? Started in Russia. So Car-Jitsu began to find its wheels when wide open spaces of the lobbying world of combat sports. That's what we did it on, was combat sports.
Yes.
Invented in 2020 by Vik Mikheev, Car-Jitsu featured Jinjitsu contests held within mid-sized sedans. The participants compete in 2 3-minute rounds of grappling and alternate between driver and passenger between rounds. Points are earned by establishing an advantage point or scoring a submission. If the submission,
they win when they look like they've humped the other person.
Yeah. So stupid. The fucking, can you believe the UFC fighters have to combat with this stupid shit? If the submission tally is tied at the close of the second round, the grapplers take the heated action to the back seat until one participant earns the most points within 4 minutes in an overtime period. Everything within the vehicle is fair game, available for use. That means mirrors, seat belts, steering wheels, you name it, is all factored into the creative use of the environment. Participants are awarded 4 points for mount and back control, 2 points for placing their knees on the belly of the opponent. So what's on this?
Would you want to be mounted in a fucking sedan?
No, fucking no. Maybe back in high school.
And not by another man.
So what spawned this is it began as something of an experiment that just could yield fruitful long-term results of participant grapplers. In 2020, what was his name? Mikheev came up with the idea of doing competitive grappling in vehicles. Since October of 2020, and my friends run small tournaments of car ninjutsu to study the aspects of jiu-jitsu application in such confined spaces. What the frick? They even have weight classes. They have weight classes. I'm about ready to show you that too.
Burn someone with a lighter.
Okay. Yeah, I guess according to this, you can do whatever you want. You can just pull out a cup holder and smack them in the face with it.
What's the tap out? Hitting the horn?
You choke them. It's just choke outs.
But like, is that the hitting the horn? Does that constitute a quit giving up?
Yeah, there you go. Tapping the horn. That's pretty funny. Yeah. There it is. Look, they even make it look cool. Self-defense in the vehicle. Confined spaces. Learn how to fight your way out. In case you're an Uber driver and you let someone sit in the front seat.
That looks very, very.
Oh, Logan versus
very
189 pounds versus 175.
Ready? Hinge your thighs. Prepare. Hajime.
Hajime. Even sound cool. This could be a new Karate Kid featuring Mr. Miyagi and Hajime. Grab the steering wheel.
Good segue. They're laughing. See, they're smiling.
Well, because this is stupid. That's why. This is very stupid. The guy's trying to get in the back seat like he's trying to get something.
Oh, man.
He's like, I dropped my wallet. Oh, he just gave up his neck. Right away, he's choking him. Oh, he's not going to get out of it. Oh, look, they put padding on there. Safety first. They put tape
Where?
on there and some padding.
Tape.
Can you imagine? See, you just choked him. What the hell?
Won by
Can you
submission.
imagine? Can you imagine if you just came out and your windows were down and then two dudes just started fighting in it and they're like, "We're practicing. We're practicing for car ninjutsu." So I just wanted to get your take on it. What was your take? Anything?
That looks very
Stupid. Stupid. The word's stupid.
Horribly looks like they're humping each other in there. Let's put it that way.
It's not even humping. It's just looks like two dudes wrestling for something in the back seat, and then one of them just gets choked out. And for some reason, we're calling this a sport. Stop it, America. Stop it right now. Do not do it anymore. Stop giving them views.
Car grappling.
Stop giving people reasons to come up with stupid shit and somehow make money off of it. Stop. That's my plea.
I think we'd rather talk about tennis baseball.
I didn't know that was, I thought that was just them fucking around. I didn't know that was a real thing.
I think those are real tennis players who
I think we're going to have to come back with another repeat of the, what do you call it? Sports out there, Wild World Sports. The first time we did it, we came up with, what was it? It was slap fighting, pillow fighting. Pillow fighting, I thought was the dumbest. But anyways, all right, into my series.
Violent pillow fighting.
Since we're talking about fighting, Cobra Kai, this final season. Can you believe that there was 6 seasons of this? I didn't even know that many seasons existed.
Oh, yeah,
that's how long I've been watching it. I can't believe that I've been watching it that long.
This is season 6.
Yeah. Oh. And for some reason, I'm just going to start off right off the bat. What pissed me off the most is they didn't release all of it. They released the first 5 episodes. That to me is bullshit. Why would you do that? Why would you only release 5 episodes of Cobra Kai? Why wouldn't you give them all? They're like, they don't even want you to binge watch it. I do. I want to binge watch it. Don't you want to binge watch it?
Yeah, I was surprised that you had binge watched it already before I'd even seen the one episode yet.
I watched it all in 2 days. 2 days, saw the whole thing. First episode. Did you finish it?
Yeah, I did finish it.
Okay. So the first episode, I was kind of disappointed, so I turned it off.
It was very cheesy and all kumbaya.
Just kind of like Saved by the Bellish. Like, I don't know if it was even supposed to be, I don't know. Everybody was like everybody's friends now.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
And then they just.
It felt like he was going to fight Chosen and then basically bring Cobra Kai the name back because it looked like Stingray had talked him maybe into it. And then they totally dropped that. So Stingray made an appearance.
And
then he was gone.
And then he was like, Johnny had to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a kid, so I got to be like a good person. And so next thing you know, I don't know. Now we're not doing it anymore, and we're just like, okay, so now what's next? Well, we're gonna have to find a house for me and my family, and everybody's getting along, and we need to train for this tournament that we totally forgot about. They didn't even talk about that till like 3rd episode in, bring up the whole tournament.
Suddenly Chosen as a real estate agent, and
Chosen sells real estate, and then Johnny needs a job because now he needs to be a grown-up because he's gonna have a baby. And it just kind of all of a sudden just, I don't know, just seemed really lame.
About episode 3 was getting better, obviously, when I had seen 3. Okay, now they got something they can sink their teeth into. They're supposedly all together, and they're fighting for the 6th spot. So by then, okay, I'm not really on board with this Mr. Miyagi subplot. Like he's
a bad guy.
Man. Yeah, like he beat up a man. It took, I don't know where the hell that's going, but
he's a bad guy. He's a bad guy.
And then Chosen disappears. So in the 4, 5, 6, Chosen's not even in it. I'm like, where the fuck did he go? I thought he was sticking around to help train the kids.
Oh, he got a flight to Okinawa.
Yeah, I remember that, but like obviously they'll have to pick that thread up in the second half, but they don't even mention it again. Nobody talks about it. He's gone. And then they bring Mike Barnes in for some reason. Like Mike Barnes, I thought instead of Chosen being the guy to partially pick, now it's out of nowhere Mike Barnes. And that was a fun episode. It started to get tense. He fights Johnny, and so that got a little more interesting. And then they start to weave these other threads in with Kreese coming back, because that's episode 2 is basically about Kreese
Well,
and the Cobra.
And we're spending more time now back to the Kreese. We're going back to Kreese. We're going back to
this young version of
we're
himself.
going back to him having flashbacks where all of a sudden you feel bad for him, then you feel okay for him, and then you're like, what the hell's going on here? And then you started having these there's like flash forward flashbacks. Johnny's trying to be an adult. Daniel's trying to get over the fact, how emotional can you really get to know that Mr. Miyagi might have beat someone up to steal money? Who cares? You know, was he supposed to be an angel the whole time? And so he's having a hard time with that. They get into it. Johnny gets punched in the face by Daniel, and he doesn't even flinch. He just is like, you know what? We're not doing this. I'm thinking I thought they were going to fight. Then
that was that. Are you talking about the end of 6?
Yeah, when he was like,
when he finally punches him in the face. We bounced around a little bit. But
Chosen. Well, I'm just kind of giving a recap. Chosen's in there. Chosen's acting like a badass. Then next thing you know, Chosen and Johnny are friends, trying to find a house. Then next thing you know, Chosen starts having like, hey, maybe I should go home because I miss my family. And then all of a sudden they bring back Karate Kid 3 badass. And this
Mike Barnes.
This dude's training these kids. And it was actually kind of interesting. But then it was funny when he was like, he was just upset because someone burned his business down after him and Johnny fight. Now he's like, you're right. And then I knew before they even did it that Hawk was going to go, because there's no reason why Hawk would not fight in the final tournament. I didn't think that girl was going to turn, but it just kind of like what it did is it brought back season 5 all of a sudden back to season 6 towards the end of the 5th episode.
But why wasn't Kenny in there too? He disappears, and it made sense. I knew by the end it looks like, okay, Tori and Kenny are going to come out, and instead it's Tori, obviously. But like, where's Kenny? That would have made perfect sense. He was in Cobra Kai at the end of the finale where Silver was arrested, so he would have had a right to be there too.
Right. And I'm not
sure. So I kind of felt like that was coming, or if the Devon character, who you could see she was getting frustrated, like she would kind of show up with, because she was kind of like the prize pupil, I forget her name, the female head of Cobra Kai now, but I know they were adversarial at the end of 5, but when she didn't win. But I kind of felt like something was coming, like with
you talking about the blonde girl, right? You thought the blonde girl?
No, the one with the braid, the one that
the new sensei at the little when he shows up on that Mr. Miyagi type character with the dude is still alive, and then Kreese is like he's fighting
good for 100 years old or whatever. He's supposed to be
190 years old. You're still alive? Yeah. He's like blind, like total.
He's like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
He's like when he turned around, he was like half blind. He reminded me of like Karate, the Kung Fu TV show from the 80s. It's like, you're still alive. So I know what you're talking about. The one that looks like Lucy Liu. That's all I keep thinking about. It looks like Lucy Liu.
She does kind of resemble her. Yeah. So what did you think of the finale? Or not finale, but like the mid-season kind of.
I'm pissed off.
The cliffhanger.
I'm pissed off.
You're pissed off because you have to wait?
Because you have to fucking wait. Because for what we did is we went in at the end of last season. We faked the death. We had a dude get arrested. Everybody's burning buildings. Everybody's causing shit. Everybody's doing stuff like crooked. It's turning evil. The show's being evil.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we go into, I need a job, gonna have a baby. We're all friends now. We're all gonna fight to see who's gonna be the
Kumbaya Kai.
And then Johnny's trying to get the 2 girls to fight, and the girl now. The other one that's kind of funny is although it's supposed to be like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months later, everybody that's younger, like the little kids, like the little girl that's now older, that he took her to the house for the slumber party for the other 2 girls, trying to get them to fight, Johnny's son, they're all very older looking. Even the kid, even the kid who's brother.
You're not Johnny. Oh yeah, Johnny's son, but like you mean Miyagi, Daniel's
So
son.
Anthony lives.
Son.
Yeah, it looks a lot older than
He looks a
last
lot
season.
older from
This
every
kid,
season.
this
He
kid that
keeps
plays
aging.
this kid that plays Kenny, he was a kid that his brother was trying to get him not to do karate, and they got in
Yeah,
a fight.
he looks
Kenny's a lot older and a lot bigger. He looks
yeah.
like he's been lifting weights.
In a few months, he looks like he's 3 years older.
He's been putting on some pounds. He's been lifting weights. He's been eating protein. Just freaking looks huge. And then didn't he? Didn't he not look a lot bigger?
No, I mean, yeah, he was
huge.
You expected to see him smaller. So when one summer he sprouted, apparently before
he just fucking had muscles. You're like, wait a minute, wasn't he all skinny and goofy looking?
He was just he was small, yeah.
Now he's gigantic.
Now he's like taller than damn it, I just had his name on the tip of my tongue.
Robbie,
yeah.
He's way bigger than Robbie.
Yeah, and then, way bigger than Robbie now.
And then the lady that plays Kim Don-un, she looks the same, but they cut her hair even more to make her look like a Lucy Liu kind of character.
Yeah.
And then even Mike Barnes, that guy who plays Mike Barnes, he looks a lot older and he looks a lot more fatter. He looks like he's gained some weight.
From the last time you've seen him, you mean?
You think that they would do like well, he looked kind of muscular. Like they look like they
He did look a little different.
The only people that looked any different was Daniel and Johnny. They look pretty much the same. Because even the kid that plays Miguel, I've seen him in that movie. It's a really good movie. Is that Beetle?
Blue Beetle?
That was a good movie. He plays a good character in that movie.
That was kind of cheesy movie, but he did good in it. He was one.
But he looks a lot. He looks a lot bigger. Robbie don't look different at all. Robbie looks the same.
Yeah, he looks fairly the same. So does Sam for the most part. She didn't look. Tori, who's also actually a lot older than the character she's playing, she did look a little older too. But she's in
looked bigger. Like she's
in her late 20s now. I think she was in her early 20s when the series started.
And then Kreese looks old.
Yeah, I mean, he's
looking older and older every time we see it. But anyways, so they bring back everybody. And so when Kreese shows up, you already knew Kreese was going to be in this show. You already knew he was going to show up.
Because he pulled an Undertaker, and at the end of season 5, whatever,
somehow faked his pulse,
came back,
faked everything, his vitals, and just confused everybody to do an autopsy on him. And then he starts fighting them.
So it seemed like it was. I don't know if this is how you felt too. It felt like it was kind of, as it got to that midpoint, whatever finale, it felt like a little bit all over the place. Like, she started to have a little flashbacks, Devin, of doing anything she can to win. So then, you find out that she poisoned or laxative Kenny, but you don't see Kenny. That thread's not followed up.
That part, I didn't even follow that.
Like, shits his pants.
What do you mean he shits his pants? I'm like, why didn't I even follow this situation? So here's the scenarios that go through stage 1, episode 1 to episode 5. If anybody's want to watch this, I would just wait, because you're not going to miss much. You're going to miss all the boys are trying to go to college, except the younger one, which is Anthony and Kenny. Everybody else is trying to go to college. They're all discussing college. They're all discussing how they get their scores up on their SATs and stuff.
They're talking about MIT. They do a whole episode on Kyler, who for most of the whole series, from season 1, he was the biggest dick. So suddenly you're supposed to feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Because they basically redeem everybody as the series goes on. So from season 1 to 6, they redeem everybody. So they almost get rid of all villains except for Kreese, maybe, or Silver, but everybody turns nice, so to speak, and joins.
Yeah,
Miyagi-Do, Eagle-Do, whatever they were going to call it.
So that part started off stupid too. I thought they would call it something better than karate. What they call Miyagi-Do still, with the eagle and the emblem. I thought they would do some. I thought it was funny when Chosen made fun of it. He goes, "We should let Johnny win this one." He's like, "Why? Eagle Fang is stupid." I think it is stupid. It's so dumb. But anyways, that was kind of glimpse of that whole argument went by quick. And then Samantha and Tori having their problems, and they try to get them mad at each other. And then they look like they're going to get mad at each other. But then Samantha's like being the total Danny LaRusso. I'm sorry. I didn't mean those things. And then they become friends again. That kind of was one episode, along with all boys go to college, and then they run into another guy, and that guy's getting hazed, and then they all have to have a karate fight and beat up everybody. And again, what are we doing? We're talking about college. Like all of a sudden, we're Saved by the Bell for the first 4 episodes. The fifth episode, we're starting to get into Kreese training all those dudes and whatever. He's in Thailand. I don't know where the fuck he is training all these kids, but they're
Korea,
all like,
I thought it was.
they're all like super, yeah, they're all like super angry. And then he's kind of creating a Cobra Kai type of group, which is, I think, is what's leading us into the next 5 episodes. Is that we're going to have this Cobra Kai versus Miyagi shit again. Karate Kid 1 rebirthed in 2024. I don't feel like Johnny's really coming out being Johnny. They tried to make him into the little dick kind of person when he was trying to buy a house, but he's conceding too much to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I got to be a good guy. So I'm going to have a kid. I got to be this. I got to be that. Kind of makes it lame. It's like, I wish he wasn't having a kid, because then we wouldn't have this like parental guidance from Daniel. The whole Mr. Miyagi pulling up a chest in the middle of a building that it's been there forever, and they didn't notice there's a hole in the floor, and then they pull out this chest that's covered in cobwebs. Total lame again, trying to make he wipes it away. Like it was like a pirate movie. They pull out all this stuff. In there's boxing gloves, which was funny as shit. The boxing part made no sense to why we even had to go down that road. They could have just read articles or something, but we had to go to the boxing part. That guy explains to him that Miyagi and his dad were friends. They robbed somebody for money, whatever. Then also
grandfather, I think his grandfather or whatever.
Yeah. So we're creating this whole image now. We have like so many different shit going on in what was already built up to be Cobra Kai, Kreese, and Silva. Right? Is that his last name? Silver versus
Terry Silver,
Miyagi and Daniel. And Miyagi and Johnny. And we kind of got that whole connection when Kreese was talking to that one kid that he was trying to make a bad guy out of everybody, like saying he's the dickhead of the karate group. He was painting the picture of like, I had a pupil, and he was remember, he was like, he used to be good, but then he fell to weakness or whatever it is, and then that guy realized they need to be a leader.
He kills Johnny in a flashback, like to try it. And his Cobra.
Oh, when he got bit by a snake?
Yeah, Cobra venomized hallucination. He snaps the neck of Johnny, almost symbolizing that he had to break away from the relationship he had with Johnny.
That kind of shit, brings back the past. And that's stuff like myself, who watch Karate Kid so much, like want to see that kind of stuff. But then you realize that this is just, I don't know. It's kind of lame all of a sudden that we're having these, I don't know how to say it, but it's almost like we're having to relate to all the characters. And I don't want to relate to all the characters. I like Robbie. I like Miguel. I like Hawk.
Yeah.
I like the girl situation with Daniel, Samantha, and Tori. I like those situations. I don't need to see all these other people anymore. I don't need to see that they're going to go to college. I don't need to give a shit about their future. I just want to get to the fight where they're fighting.
How does Dimitri even get in there at one point? Like this guy was better than the rest, so it didn't make any sense. Well, by the end, it looked like, okay, it would make sense to have him in there if you would have had Kenny show up on the other side. Kenny has to show up on the Cobra Kai side. It's just, I don't know why they didn't decide to show them both in there. How, you can't, his thread can't just disappear.
Which one's Dimitri? Dimitri is the dude that took him to the school, right? He's one who wants to go to MIT. The dorky.
Yeah, he was the dork that.
Oh yeah. Why the fuck when did he even, he wasn't even in the karate, like actual scenes.
I know, like suddenly he's better. Daniel's son is suddenly in the top 12 of the dojo.
Yeah.
Like this kid wasn't even doing karate. Like, didn't make no sense.
So I got to give this one about a C, just because I don't think it has it's not making me feel good about watching it. I'd rather
doesn't have the chops of the previous season.
No, man, we've been building this shit up for so long, and I do not see this going well for me if this is how the direction, because I feel like we're really going into the whole Daniel LaRusso feel good got to feel, got to make sure we do Mr. Miyagi's philosophies and all this stuff. Now all of a sudden it's not Cobra Kai anymore. It's now Miyagi Dojo season 5 or season 6. So it just feels like we're not even focusing on what Cobra Kai. The only reason we watched this fucking show, the only reason we tuned into this show is to see Johnny Lawrence as an older guy be Johnny Lawrence, be the 80s version of him in this 50s.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing that anymore. Now they're trying to like raise. I almost feel like they're trying to raise him to what would you say? Raise him to be like an adult. Like we need Johnny to be an adult now. We need Johnny to be kind of grown up. He's gonna have a baby. We need Johnny to realize that, you can't just drink beer at the middle and throw beer kit bottles. Because they tried to do that in what was it, episode 2? He was training him, and then he was trying to be badass and throw beer bottles at him and trying to train him to be like mean and tough.
It was funny when he was shooting them at like with like the baseball thing at the kids while they were training.
Yeah, but then that just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden we just squashed that whole situation. And I'm just like, what the fuck? We didn't stick to anything, which is the reason why we're in this season, why we're watching it. We didn't stick with that whole plan. I feel like we're all over the place. We're trying to go into everybody's lives. We're trying to make Tori and Samantha have a relationship. But then I'll tell you that I'll give you the highlight of the whole episode was when Tori's mom died. That was sad. It was sad. Yeah. It was a good tear-jerking, sad moment, especially when she had the bottle cap that she drew for her or she colored to protect her from abuse from her dad or whoever she was trying to figure, whoever was abusing her mom. She gave her a bottle cap where she put a marker on it as a little girl. And she said, if you have this, it'll protect you. And then when her mom died, it was in her hand, the bottle cap. That episode part where she's fighting Samantha, even though the karate's horrible. Karate is so shitty, but at least have stunt doubles. It's just horrible, horrible everything. It's like not even good karate. I mean, there's no way in hell. Let's just be real. There's no way in hell they're beating Kreese's little Korean karate dudes. There's no way. Those fucker dudes are jumping around they're all over.
Let's clarify it. I mean, obviously, they didn't want to show you who would win because they're saving this for the finale. So Samantha can defeat her finally in the finale. Obviously, they're saving that. So they're going to probably have an episode of how she probably talks to Kreese. And because there's a lot of stuff that got rushed in the mid-season finale that they have to kind of fill in the pieces for. And maybe they do show Kenny show up and maybe they didn't want to have both of them show up, but I'm hoping they do because he probably belongs in there. He kind of got the shaft and it felt like, okay, where'd you go with his storyline if he wasn't going to show up with Tori?
He's just gonna go shit his pants in the John. It was over.
That was
the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, and then just Dimitri being there. At least they brought Hawk back in there. He had
I think Stingray's showing up too. I think he's gonna show up at Cobra Kai because why did he show up for 5 minutes and then never saw him again?
Yeah,
it just
it would be cool for him and Kenny to show up in there. Although Stingray just is good at beating up kids, right?
He's adult.
He's a big fat adult who's only good at beating up them. But yeah, I think he's more of a joke that they wouldn't have both Kreese and
he's gonna show up. He's gonna be like a little sneak. All right, we got to wrap this up. Cobra Kai, give your rating. I give it a C. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's pretty consistent with it. Maybe B- if we want to be nice, but it was a little bit all over the place. So I definitely feel like they better finish strong with this season because this one was really
they built this sucker up, baby. They built this shit up. It better be better than this. I'll tell you that. So Cobra Kai so far, not very impressive. Me podcast, you listen. Make sure you tune in. Look at MC's face over there in the corner. That is a horrible merge of Daniel and MC. All right, make sure you tune in. Me podcast, you listen. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for following us, and please give us a like and share.